He said, what? Girl, bye. You finna be truthful here. Welcome to Everyday All of Us with me, Uncle Timmy. You silly man. Welcome, everyone, to the very first episode of Everyday All of Us with Uncle Timmy. Yep, that's me. This is the podcast where we kick back, spill some tea, share some laughs, and escape life's irritations. Just in time to stop you from drafting that resignation email after your boss, or excuse me, or let's be honest, that coworker who acts like your boss tries you one last time. I've been there. That's why you hear me now. Later, we'll be chatting with Jared, a high school music teacher from Minnesota. Of course, this means we're going to talk about music, or it'll at least be music-ish. And if you can't tell already, you will also gain a whole new vocabulary listening. Now, before we get to our guests, I'd like to talk about some things that have been on my mind lately. So many of us have unfiltered moments. You know where the words just come out of your mouth. You know what I'm talking about. And speaking of unfiltered moments, let me tell you about my mom. God rest her soul. She had a sometimesy filter. One time I bought over a friend who was, let's say, fragrance challenged. Yeah, that's what I'll go with. My mom greeted him, polite as ever. And as soon as he walked away, she muttered loud enough for the angels above to hear, even though she thought that was whispering. Hell, my whole family thinks that's whispering. Who am I kidding? Moving on, she said he needs to at least slap a rag across the crack of his burp. You know what that burp is. Now, some of y'all needn't be shocked, or probably aren't shocked, because I've heard worse out there. And don't worry, if you're wondering, yes, my friend heard, went home, let the water and soap hit him, and he's okay and fragrance free, I may add. Folks, my mind is always all over the place. Sometimes I even picture a southern uncle in his 50s, fabulous in all ways, the one with sass up to 11, who always says what everyone else is just thinking, or sometimes not wanting to think. You know the type, leaves voicemail so memorable they could be framed in the museum of, oh no, they didn't. Well, it just so happens I have a voicemail from that fabulous uncle. Sometimes this voicemails leave you crying, laughing, or unfortunately questioning your DNA sometimes. It's time for voicemails from Gunkle. Enjoy, y'all. Beep. Hey, Stella, how you doing today, baby? Girl, Gunkle got another story for you today. Let me put my glaucoma medicine down to tell this story. Well, y'all know how that lactose do me. But I opened the freezer and wrenched around and found that chunky monkey. Yeah, my stomach say no, but my eyes say yes, yes, baby. Needless to say, I was standing there in my Gucci looking fabulous. But that ice cream, I wanted it. I was ready to accept the booty consequences of my actions. Girl, I done sat down on the couch with my spoon. Was there only one spoon left in that container? Woo, girl, girl, you know I was mad. You know I was mad. People always want to get in somebody else's stuff and leave a spoonful, put that stuff right back in that refrigerator. Ooh, let me calm down. Let me calm down. But that anger did not stop me. 'Cause I ate that little bit of ice cream that was in there. And, ooh, girl, Guncle gotta go. Guncle gotta go. Ooh, let me sash away. Please welcome our first guest. He is a music educator from Minnesota. Please welcome Jared. Hey, Jared, what's going on today?
Not too much is going on today. Just enjoying the day. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Just here, sitting, chilling, doing this first episode of Everyday All of Us, and I'm nervous. So bear with me while we get through this. So I just have a few questions to ask you, if that's all right.
Sounds good.
Great. All right. So where does your love of music come from?
I would have to say my love of music comes from the way I was brought up with my dad. He was an elementary music educator growing up, and so we were always around music. But he was also a church organist, and so...
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so we would go... I heard a lot of church music growing up, and we would go to organ recitals that he would put on. He was an organ salesman, also a pipe organ salesman, and so when these churches would get these brand new pipe organs, they would have a organist, either my dad or someone else, come and kind of put on a recital to show everything the organ can do.
Okay.
And so I went to a lot of organ recitals growing up. And then also he had season tickets to the Duluth Superior Symphony Orchestra. And if my mom couldn't go that night, like if she was working or had something else going on, he would take one of either myself or one of my sisters to the orchestra. So I remember that growing up. And then he pursued me to, well, he had me do piano lessons early on. When I was in second grade, I started piano.
Oh, wow. Second grade. So you can, like, really Beethoven that stuff up, huh?
Well, I would need to practice it a little bit.
Okay. Practice makes perfect, folks.
Mm-hmm. And then when I was in junior high and high school, I started playing the alto saxophone, and that's when my real love of music started coming along, and I loved playing, and then I started collecting CDs, listening to music as much as I could. So that's where my love of music ultimately came from.
Awesome. I get that, because it was the same way with me. My dad, who also played saxophone, he was great at it, and that's where you look amazed. I was just amazed sitting there in the living room listening to my dad. He'd hear a song and he could play it. He didn't have to see the sheet music or anything. He'd hear it and he can play it. And I could still hear him playing today. And I know that was one of the things that helped build and grow my taste for music, along with the stars. So what stars helped build your early music taste?
Well, I remember getting cassettes early on.
Cassettes. We went way back, y'all. Mm-hmm. Some of y'all might be listening, don't even know what that is.
Yep. I had a little tape player that I had right next to my bed, and I listened to music for like the last 30 minutes before falling asleep.
Awesome.
And it would be like Pearl Jam Versus, I remember, was one of the tapes that I had early on. So was Arrested Development.
Arrested Development. You had Arrested Development? Nice.
Yep, I had a wide variety of tastes, but I think the one that influenced me the most was the Beatles. And I don't know if you remember this, but in the early 90s...
Okay, the Beatles, folks, if you didn't get that, because he really pronounced that Beatles to make sure you understand how much he cares about the Beatles. Okay, yep. Sorry to interrupt you.
Well, they had a mini-series in the early 90s called The Anthology, the Beatles Anthology, and along with the mini-series, which was like interviews with the band and early footage and never like seen or heard before songs, they also came out with these CDs, and I remember my mother buying me a lot of those CDs and gifting me those, and I just treasured those. And they had little booklets, and I would read the books.
Oh my
front to
goodness, you're
back.
taking me back.
I practically memorized all those liner notes that were written by not John, but Paul and George and Ringo, the surviving members. And that was some of my very early favorites. I could talk for hours about early music favorites looking back on it, but if I had to choose one that was really a big influence to me, it would be the Beatles.
Got it. Awesome. I get it, the Beatles. One of my early influences was I Wish I Could Sing Her Voice. You know it is Whitney. Folks, this is my husband. He is not just a music teacher, he is also my husband.
Yep.
And he knows I love Whitney. Whitney shaped so many things. I am surprised I'm not a crackhead right now. But anyway, moving on. Whitney was something that I could listen to in the house. And what I remember was I had a lot of friends that would listen to rap, and we all remember that black and white parental advisory label that
Yep.
was on the things. I don't remember whose fault that was. Maybe Nancy Reagan or somebody. No, Nancy Reagan, she was the drugs.
It was Al Gore's wife.
Al Gore's wife. Oh my goodness. It's always somebody trying to ruin our fun. But anyway, so we'll go back to the time when we were little, because I know there were a lot of things that I wasn't allowed to listen to in the house. Were there any records, CDs, cassettes that you got that had that black and white label on that you know you weren't supposed to listen to in the house?
Oh yeah, I had it taken away from me. I probably owned it for one day, but it was Vanilla Ice's Ice Ice Baby.
Oh my
That
goodness.
album. Yeah,
Y'all, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I remember I got it from West Duluth Target. Well, and I got it and I brought it home and I maybe listened to it once through, and then I think one of my sisters tattled on me and my parents took it
There
away.
we go. Those tattle-telling sisters.
Yeah, that's probably my younger sister.
If they're listening right now, that younger sister, I feel you. I'm the youngest too. We do like the tattle, don't we? Awesome. So yeah, it's that music that wasn't allowed, but we listened to it. Was there anyone else besides Vanilla Ice?
That wasn't allowed. No, I mean, after that I tried to stay away from that because I was the good kid. I didn't want my stuff taken away like that.
The good kid. Y'all, he said he was the good kid. Okay, we got you. We clock you. We clock you now.
But I mean, I tried to stay away from stuff that was too abrasive, I guess. It just wasn't what I was interested in.
Okay, cool. I get that. And that's the thing. All of us, we have so many varied interests within music, but that whole ideal and concept behind music, that's something for everybody. It's just different kinds of music here and there. That's one thing that bonds us all. All right, so I've always seen music, again, as a universal language that tells stories to make you feel something. Like we all have that worn out breakup song. I can hear Deborah Cox singing in the back of my mind right now that nobody's supposed to be here. No, 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 no. I'm sorry, that's all y'all get, folks. That took me back. But what I'm saying is that music makes you feel the story, whether it's pain, joy, laughter, or heartache. Some songs make you feel immersed in the story. So, Jared, what do you feel is the greatest story ever told through music?
Well, one of my favorite stories told through music is by this band called Modest Mouse, and it's the song called Third Planet.
Okay.
And it kind of tells the story of a family, a couple that have lost a child. And it's kind of told in a way that you can interpret how the child passed away and what really happened. But the music's awesome. I remember the first time I heard it, I was just blown away. But there are other bands that do like whole albums that tell a whole story.
Okay.
And a couple of my favorites are by the Decemberists, which is this band from,
Okay.
early 2000s, late 90s, and they're still around, but they don't put out these albums like this anymore. But it would be an album that told the whole story, and one of them is The Crane Wife,
Okay.
and the other one is called The Hazards of Love. So if you like storytelling, either one of those two albums tell the whole story. If you got a whole, they're great for car rides. Like if you're going on a road trip and you want to be entertained for an hour and hear amazing story to music, those two albums are phenomenal.
That's awesome, because we know, unfortunately, today, and I believe that storytelling is something that, in my opinion, it's lost on some of the new artists, because I feel like some of the new artists, it's just about that beat. It's just about that beat that you can get everybody into, or those two people that collab, and I could sit here and say, it's that wet, wet, wet macaroni in the pot. You know what I'm talking about.
Right.
If I say that, it's that short, but I still look at it as that short. It's just telling that short story, like almost like telling a joke.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I'm not saying that music is a joke, because I don't know. No, I don't want that drama. I don't want no beef with nobody. We're not going to have no back and forth. I'm new out here. Y'all don't know me. Mm-hmm. So I want to thank Jared for joining us today as an awesome guest. Jared, I have a feeling that we'll probably have you back again to talk about something.
Well, that's fine. I'm very knowledgeable.
Very knowledgeable. Spoken from a teacher. Hey, I just want to put this out there. If anybody out there is a teacher, or you are married to a teacher, you understand some of my pain, because teachers don't take instruction. You can't tell them what to do, and they know everything.
Well, not everything.
Oh, he admitted it. He admitted it, folks. The teacher admitted they don't know everything.
But I want to say, before I take off, congratulations on your first episode.
Thank you.
I'm proud of you.
It's been a long time coming, and I hope that this is something that people can continue to listen to. This was just the start of it. I'm silly, y'all. And anybody out there that knows me personally that's listening, y'all already know I'm silly. So it's just going to be a lot of that and back and forth. And Jared, with that, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.
All
Bye,
right.
everybody.
Have a good one. Well, that's a wrap for the first episode of Everyday All of Us. First, I'd like to thank Jared for joining in the first episode. I'd also like to thank him for conceding that teachers don't know everything. Today, we talked about music and had a few laughs. And to end this episode, I want to say music is something we all experience. For me, the best is having that experience together. Think of that long car ride with family or friends. That's the feeling achieved together. And we need more of that today, let's be honest. So thank you all so much for listening. I hope you all come back for more, whether it's for me or for Gunkel, or hopefully both of us, or maybe to learn something, or to make a teacher concede to something. And remember, we can do better together every day, all of us. Thanks, folks.